It's me, Mario!
As far as juggernauts go in the world of gaming, this is probably the granddaddy of them all. It's impossible to find someone that knows anything about gaming that has never played this game, or a game of similar quality to it, because whatever the second game is, it probably drew heavy inspiration from this game. Super Mario 64. Just saying that title alone can bring a tear to a grown man's eye. But not this grown man though, I'm tough. Not even the visuals, the sounds, the feel of the game can make me... Nope, not gonna cry. Even when I mention my memories of playing this game at my cousin's house and not being able to climb Whomp's tower and getting them to do it for me, oh, I'm not gonna do it. Nope, I'll just go to the next paragraph. In the mid-90s, no one really knew how 3D games were supposed to work. Leave it to Nintendo to blow everyone's minds. And who better than the game character that had already blown people's minds? Mario set the standard with Super Mario Bros. And with that small little mixture came what some people to this day consider to be the greatest game of all time. But not me. Look, I really like this game. In fact, I love it. But it wasn't my first experience into 3D gaming. I didn't get my hands on this title until around 2000. I had already been playing the Crash trilogy and other PS1 era platformers for a good 3 years. I guess it was like 1997 when I could figure out how to properly play games. 3 years old? Does that seem like a decent age to know vaguely what I'm doing in a game? I picked up Mario 64 from a store called McKay's Books in Knoxville. It's a store that has used books, obviously, and also movies, CDs, and video games. I vividly remember looking at a boxed copy of Pokemon Red, and man do I wish I had asked my parents to let me get that. Though, I probably would have thrown away the box like the little kid that I was. And then, looking at Mario 64. No box, just the cart. And I knew I wanted it. My opinion on the game has gone very back and forth over the years. I initially loved it, of course. I wasn't very good at it, but I didn't care. I could get the basic stars, I could even get 100 coins in the first level. I could take down Bowser in the first boss level, but after a few years, it really bothered me that I wasn't very good at it. I started thinking, wow, this game is so overrated. I can't believe some people prefer this game to Sonic Adventure. And let's just hold up for a second. Let's address that line right there. I haven't talked about it a whole lot on the channel, if at all, but and I need the strength to say this, love Sonic games. I was raised on Sonic 2. I remember going to the Sears in Cookeville and playing the demo for Sonic Adventure. That first level and boss fight shaped everything I knew about 3D platforming. This was all before I got Mario 64. And honestly, I would so much rather play Sonic Adventure than Mario 64 any day of the week now. But is Sonic Adventure a better game? Oh my word, no way. You may have thought I was going crazy, but I'm not a lunatic. I'll make a video of Sonic Adventure eventually. But let's get back to Mario 64. Anyways, yeah, I couldn't understand why people gushed over this game. Then I got the DS remake with my Nintendo DS, which I still have and has these faded Sonic Rush stickers on it. I poured so many hours into this remake, and it made me want to jump back into Mario 64 as it was, and I really appreciated it. Then I didn't play it for about 8 years or so. I thought it was a lame game that I just didn't enjoy as much as other people. I picked it back up on my Twitch channel a while ago in a series of playing each 3D Mario game, and man, have I changed my tune. I used to think that Mario Galaxy was the best 3D Mario game, and I used to think that Mario Sunshine was the worst, but that's a video for down the road too. But now I am firmly on board with those that hold Mario 64 to such high standards. Let's talk about the presentation. Mario immediately greets you upon starting the game. This may not be super HD graphics like we're used to today, but this looks amazing. I really wish I had been older in 1996 so I could see this turn into this. You know how the rest goes. Mario hops out of the pipe, you hear the birds chirp and the gentle overworld music, You have this giant open area for you to try out all of Mario's 3D abilities. You make your way into the castle, hear the menacing laugh of Bowser, and you find your first painting. You hear that captivating sound of... The Bob-omb Battlefield music kicks in, you see the Bob-ombs, the Goombas, that magical hillside, and man, this just looks amazing. And how does Mario control today? Way better than you might have thought he would. Sure, games have already done it better today, but they used this as the model for it. And how difficult is the game? Okay, maybe I wasn't very good at games as a kid. There are definitely some challenging parts in this game, but it never really feels like it's the game's fault or artificial difficulty. If something is difficult, it's because of your lack of skill. It's not a cakewalk, but if you learn how to better play, you'll find yourself playing at a very rewarding level of play. And how is the game paced? Well, for the 3 people that have never played this game, let me break it down for you. Mario can earn power stars that restore power back to the castle, so he can make his way past every part that Bowser has blocked off. He can earn 7 stars in each level, and there's other stars in the castle, all for a grand total of 120 stars. But you don't need to get 120 stars to finish the game. You only need 70 stars to finish the game. I really appreciate this approach that they took, which really was already present in other Mario games. In Mario 3 and Super Mario World, you don't have to play every single level in the game. There's some levels you can outright skip with warp whistles or just going around other levels. They had that in the first Mario game with warp pipes. Mario 64 follows this a little bit, and I believe that it's because they wanted to make sure there was still some game to play after finishing it. 70 is the perfect number for this. When you see that long staircase that needs 70 stars to climb, you realize how much work you have to put into the game. But then you start putting 2 and 2 together. You realize that there's more than 70 stars in the game. And you don't have to get each and every one, changing how you approach the game and how you view the game as a whole. You realize how much bigger the game must be after getting 70 stars. You see some stars that are a little more difficult, or you just flat out don't know how to get. Some of these, you need to have that one computer from Jeopardy on the phone so you can figure out the hints, because some of them are just ridiculous. So you can just skip those. And when you get 70, you take down Bowser. You drop back down into the courtyard, feeling accomplished, ready to get the rest of those stars. And let's talk about if there's any gimmicks in the game. Honestly, I can't find any. I think of Sunshine, and I think of Flood, Galaxy, and the star spin jump thing, Odyssey, and throwing Cappy. And yes, those are gimmicks. But gimmicks aren't always something bad just to get people to play a game. There's something that differentiates the games from each other. And I don't really consider the metal cap or the wing cap to be a gimmick in this game. You really only run into those things 4 or 5 times throughout the entire game. I can't really think of any gimmicks in Mario 64. It's just straight up Mario in a 3D space. And that's what's mesmerizing to me when I think about it. And let's talk about just how important it is to gaming. This defined how 3D games are supposed to be. This shaped the path that each Mario game, and game in general after it, was going to be. Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, Odyssey, they're all based on the core premise of 3D Mario that this game established. And so, if this game is so influential, can it be what I said earlier? Can it be overrated? Well, yeah. I absolutely think it's an overrated game. But overrated doesn't mean bad. Think of the Beatles. Are they a little overrated? Maybe. Probably. But they're the Beatles. That doesn't change the fact of how big and influential they are. Is Mario 64 overrated? Yeah, a little bit. But it's got enough stuff to back it up. The graphics definitely look like they're from the 90s. But that's kind of the charm. They still look polished. The controls aren't perfect, but it controls better than some games today. All in all, Mario 64 is every bit of hype that it claims to be. I've even changed my tune over time. I have a boxed copy of it. It's not pristine condition, but I have this cardboard box. And that's what's really cool. Pick this game up when you get a chance, and see what Odyssey, in all of its perfection, owes to this classic. Do you think Mario 64 is overrated? Or do you think it's deserving of all the praise? Maybe a little bit of both? Let me know down below in the comments. I mentioned earlier how I had recently streamed Mario 64. Well, I didn't get all 120 stars. I'm currently doing a goal on Twitch where once I hit 120 followers, I'm going to bring it back and get all 120 stars in the game, which I have never done, because I'm not very good at some of the stars. Drop by for a good time when you get a chance. Until next time, see you later.